Well, hello, you guys, and thank you for joining my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so because I got all kinds of cool things coming your way. Today, I'm going to do something a little different. I am going to show you guys how I do an animal chart reading. Now, I am an animal behaviorist. I've been an animal behaviorist for 30 years. I've been training horses and working with the service dog industry through astrology. Also, years of working with horses. He's given me such an insight for people and for life. When I found astrology and I started looking at the charts of the animals and the riders, I was blown away because all of the things that I was trying to articulate to my students, I was able to see in the charts. And so I was able to really test this. Being that I am an animal behaviorist, I'm also able to see an animal chart reading a little differently. I'm able to look at an animal's chart and see it through the eyes of that animal. If we're looking at a dog's chart or a cat's chart, we're looking at it through the eyes of a predator. If we're looking at a horse's chart, we're looking at it through the eyes of a prey animal. It's a very big difference. So I bring a little different aspect to this type of reading. And I'm also able to give suggestions on training and tools and how to help the relationship. So I got an interesting call to do a reading on a horse and a rider. And our horse is a performance horse. He is a polo horse. And he's just an amazing horse, I can already tell. And our rider is a very intuitive woman who's very connected. So she just had some questions for me. She's just wanting to make sure, is this the direction she should be going with her horse? She has seen some volatile moments, so she's kind of wondering about those. What is she seeing? And I'm just going to give a few of my thoughts on what could help this relationship continue to flourish. So let's get started. So first of all, I'm taking a look at my rider here. And when I look at my rider and my animal, in this case it's Fugo, the horse, I look to see, just like I do in a regular compatibility, what, relationship connections do they have. Well, first of all, my rider is a Scorpio rising. If you know anything about a Scorpio rising, they have such an attuned connection to animals, especially cats, I'll just say that. But horses as well. They just have a knowing, they have a connection. They're able to a lot of times read their intentions, read what's going on, and sometimes this can be like a blessing and a curse. And I don't mean like a curse, but I just mean in the general form that sometimes when you're picking up on the things that your animals are feeling, you have to remember that animals will reflect you. So sometimes an animal is reflecting how you're feeling, and then you're picking up on how they're feeling, and it's hard to separate the two. So by doing this astrological reading, we're able to see how Fugo is looking through the world, and this might be a little helpful. So Fugo is a Capricorn rising, and my rider is a Sun in Capricorn. So right off the bat, we have a beautiful connection. This tells me that you two work really well together, that you both need a system. I'm also going to add that they both have a moon in Taurus. When you share a moon sign with somebody, or especially with an animal, there is amazing soul connection. And she told me that she has this amazing connection with him. Well, we see right off the bat that they're sharing the same soul desires. With the earth signs, we need to see a lot more structure. A horse needs to know that they can count on a certain amount of predictability every day. There has to be a structure. In that, they find comfort, they find security, and it lowers their anxiety. So an example might be, whether it's a dog or a horse, do you get up and take your animal for a walk every morning? Or do you get up and before you start your warm-up with your horse, do you lunge? Do you take them a walk around the block? What is your routine? For Fugo to feel really secure, he's going to want to feel that from you, that he can count on something specific every day. When life changes too radically for animals, that can cause a lot of anxiety, especially looking at the fact that he has Capricorn and Taurus in his chart, and so do you. So that's a beautiful connection you both have right off the bat. The other thing that I love here is that you have Mercury in Capricorn. So understanding him, communicating with him in that slow, methodical way, let's build this relationship together, is going to give him a lot of comfort. When I see the Scorpio rising, sometimes that energy, because you do read the intentions, sometimes you can pick up on things. And one thing we want to remember about humans or animals, when we're having a communicative relationship with them, people can be driven by their emotions. We can be driven by our emotions. But to progress in life, we a lot of times have to override our emotions and learn how to do the scary thing even when we don't feel like it or we're unsure. So I also see that my writer has a Mars in Libra. So that can create a little bit of indecisiveness in decision making. So you have a hard drive for perfection and performance, which is incredible. That's what you need to be a performance writer. But that Libra in there can create a little bit of indecision. And a horse is going to interpret that differently than maybe you are intending. For example, if you are getting ready to make a move, you're getting ready, with polo, it's very quick decisions, quick moves. You can't be wishy-washy. You can't be compromising. With the Libra there, sometimes there's that questioning factor. Should I go? Should I stay? And it's something that you're going to have to work through as a writer to really be able to say, these are the decisions I need to make. This is how I'm going to make them. As you override that indecision, you will see your horse override that indecision. The horse a lot of times can view that as an insecurity. And because they are putting their life in your hands, if they view that or they interpret that as an insecurity, they may oppose the situation. Remember, with the moon in Taurus, they want concrete decisions. They want to know that what they're going to do the next move. And with polo being such a quick sport, you've got to know ahead of time, before you even get on this horse, what you want this picture to look like. There needs to be a lot of visualization that could help you really say to yourself, okay, when I get back in that situation where maybe I wasn't as assertive that I needed to be and my horse wasn't as assertive, I'm going to override that emotion, that indecision, and make the decision. It's using these different energies that you have, and by helping you see the picture, it'll help you make that decision better. So that would be the one thing that speaks to me in this particular reading that, I would say is really important to take a look at. Now, when I look over here at Fugo, I see that he has, hold on here a minute. That he has Sun, Mercury, and Venus in Gemini. You will see a lot of racehorses have a lot of Gemini and Taurus and Aries in their chart. It's that fast, quick ability to make decisions. There's a lot of Mercurian energy here. So you've got this stable side of him, but then this other side of him that's a little restless, a little anxious. Sometimes you see with animals that have a lot of Gemini in their chart, they might have a nervous behavior. They can chew. They might chew other horses' tails. They can nibble about a lot, chew on ropes, because that Mercurian energy is very bottled up. This is a horse that's going to do best in a pasture setting where there's a lot of different things for him to do, which he may be in. But that's just my recommendation here. With this energy, okay, the beautiful thing that you have that's going to give you an insight for him is that you have Venus in Aquarius. My writer here has the ability to tap in to a higher vibration than Mercury. Uranus is a higher vibration, and you pick up on the vibrations. So when you're riding in a group of high energy horses and very competitive people, there's a lot of quick things that need to happen. And your horse is able to do it. This particular job, I think, is phenomenal for him. I think he would do wonderful with it. He's only 6, so he's still learning. You know, it takes time. I mean, I really believe you don't have a finished horse till they're over 10. Top dressage horses you'll see are, 14 years old. It takes a long time for a horse to gain these concepts and then be able to do them where they're just second nature. So he's right in that learning process. I see that between the combination between structure and hard work, which your horse will loves that hard work, he needs a lot of variety. He needs to go play. He needs to do other things. He needs to go out on trail, or he needs to be ponied, or he needs variety. Or you might see him get kind of down or get over anxious, not knowing what to do with that high level of energy through Mercury. Geminis, a lot of times people don't talk about it too much, but with Mercury and Venus in Gemini and the Sun, they can have a quick temper. They can have a quick ability to go from everything's great to I'm not happy about this. And, the cool thing about Geminis, though, is they usually can go back to everything's great pretty quick, too. So when you're seeing that volatile moment, you want to ask yourself, see if there's a thread. Is there something common that happens every time he has a volatile moment, or he opposes his work, or he is confused? Is he confused? Is there a missing piece? Is there something in the training? Because horse training, dog training, all this type of training is very methodical, and we're putting in pieces step by step by step to ultimately create a performance horse. Is there a missing piece? Is there something he doesn't understand? Or are you putting through that energy of indecisiveness at those moments? What is he interpreting that? Is he interpreting that as an insecurity in decision making? A horse, they become our legs when they get underneath us and they allow us to ride them. They become our mind. They become our hands. They become us. And when you have such a beautiful relationship like this, he's going to need you to be everything you want him to be. You have the ability with that Aquarius to pick up on quick decisions. It's an air sign, so you guys both have that side of you that's very stimulated together. You just have to trust it. So the last thing I'm going to say here, because this is just trying to make this a sample video. You guys know I have no problem going on and on. I get so excited when I get into reading charts. But the last thing I want to say here is this is your year. Jupiter is moving into Leo July 17th, 2014, in a couple weeks. Fugo has Mars in Leo. Mars is the engine. Mars is the motor. Mars is the intention. Mars is our drive. And here, it's going to be expanded. That competitive side of him, you may start to see really come through now. You're going to see that he's just going to come into his own this year. I really believe that's true. I do a lot of work for racehorse owners when they're doing races and they're working on things, and I help them follow that pattern. And every time I see certain aspects, I can say, this is the year you're going to do really well. This is the year. He's got a star in his chart. He is meant to perform, and he's meant to rise to the top. So right now, as Jupiter, the planet of expansion, of good things, moves in and highlights Mars in Fugo's chart, you're going to see him step up. You're going to see him step up. And as you really get that picture of what you want this to look like, I really believe that he is your soul horse, your soul connection. You two are awesome together. It's a process. You're building together. And you know what? The sky's the limit. You're right on the right track. So I'm going to stop there because, like I said, you guys know I can go on and on. But if you're interested in an animal chart reading, you're interested in me helping you, this is just a little taste of what I can do. All right, guys. You can check me out at cowgirlastrologer.
Me by the hand and lead me carefully